It takes no talent to go to heaven. It takes no talent to go to heaven. It takes no talent to be saved. If you think it takes some sort of skill to get to heaven, you haven't learned what you need to learn yet. All right? So just think about how skilled people are, how talented they are. In church and religion and not in religion, how rich they are. Being rich is a talent. These things have nothing to do with character. You could be the best singer in the world, but you could be a lousy person and have a lousy personality. Therefore, it takes no talent to be saved. I haven't found anywhere in the scriptures, and I've been studying them 35, 40 years, never was religious, never believed in God, but once I started reading certain books like Proverbs and Matthew, I got pretty convinced that this is pretty good stuff, pretty wise. So, way wiser than me. And I'm a fool. I'm naive, let's say. But it takes no talent to be saved. Every conversion in the gospel, nobody has any skill. It takes character, faithfulness, for example, faith, being trustworthy, being reliable, having a good nature, being kind, being mild, being a good judge, which most of us aren't. Let's face it, we come to the wrong conclusion all the time, and it destroys our relationships. But being a good judge, being just, being right, being righteous and correct is a good character habit. And so what I'm trying to say is character is destiny. Character is destiny. And I can get into that subject a little later, that flavor of character, but I just want to express what I've concluded, and is that it takes no skill to be saved. It takes character. One of the character traits is faithfulness, faith, towards someone. Faithfulness is a characteristic that relates to a relationship between two people, like a husband and a wife. If a husband never cheats on his wife, he's faithful to her in that regard. And that's same with a wife. If she never commits adultery against her husband, she's faithful. And that's a good character trait. And that's the kind of behavior that can get a person into heaven, because God is faithful. If you understand the faithfulness of God, how trustworthy He is, He isn't going to gyp you. He isn't going to mistreat you. He isn't going to misjudge you. He's not going to be unkind to you. He has the best character. And He's just looking for that in us. And that's the purpose of the gospel. And that's for another time, that subject. But what I want to say and emphasize is, does it take any talent to be saved? You know, you got the Pentecostals out there saying you need to speak in tongues to show you're saved. They're totally wrong. There's no example of that anywhere in the scripture. And they're going to say, yes, there is. No, they're out of context. Everybody that got converted, everybody that got baptized into Christ, they did not speak in tongues. That has nothing to do with becoming a Christian. It doesn't take any talent to be saved. All right? You don't have to be a teacher of God. You don't have to give money to be saved. You don't have to have the gift of giving, the talent of help. You don't have to help anybody initially. You don't have to have any teaching ability. You don't have to have pretty much any wisdom. You don't have, but that's a character trait. You do have to have some wisdom. And to believe, it takes a little bit of wisdom to believe in God. Because it's foolhardy to think there is no God. But does it take any skill to be saved? No, you don't have to sing well. You don't have to have a lot of money. You could be poor. You could be rich. It doesn't matter. You can be ugly. It takes no beauty to be saved. No beauty to go to heaven. And if you look at the scripture, the prophecy in Isaiah about Christ, for example, is He's ugly. He has no attractive property. It says He's not attractive in any way that we'd be attracted to Him physically. His character is what draws us to Him. Jesus isn't good looking, man. There's a reason for that. All of us that are ugly, we can relate that it hurts. There's something more than having beauty. You don't need beauty to be saved. You don't need to be tall. You don't need to be stately. You don't need to be a beauty queen. These are things that are just provide no value eternally. And so you don't have to do anything to be saved. As far as talent, you don't have to have talent. You do have to follow the gospel to be saved. You'd have to obey the gospel. But it takes no skill, it takes no talent to believe in God.